Hey everybody, it's Abby Glassenberg from Craft Industry Alliance. I hope you are having a great day today. We come to you live every single Wednesday to do a member spotlight where we drop in on one of our Craft Industry Alliance members and learn more about their business, their creative journey, see some samples of their work, and just basically get to know them. We have so many incredible. Going to be joined by someone who's a little near and dear to my heart because they make stuffed animals and dolls. And that's what I love to make as well. So I'm very excited to be joined by Rena Dearden. Hey, Rena, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Very good. I'm so excited to talk with you. I have loved all of your work, all of your stuffed animals, your just everything that you do for so long. As a stuffed animal and doll maker myself, I'm just in awe of your ability to create in 3 dimensions and create somebody who's super adorable, and also has clear instructions for other people to make. So I'm excited to learn more about your products, and maybe you can tell us just a little bit about your business and what it is that you do.
Okay, well, thank you so much. And I got to say that I just kind of dove into this years ago and just fuddled my way through it. And there's a book that I found that helped me see in 3D and kind of help piece things together. And of course, that was your book, which I admire you for that. That is amazing. Um, so I design and write sewing patterns for stuffed animals. And my newest My newest release is this cat.
Oh my
You can
goodness.
say.
Oh,
And this one, they're not all jointed, but they give an option for people to be able to do the jointed head and armature arms and tail. So this is the newest
he
one.
is so
Oh, and
cute.
she's got toe beans.
Oh my gosh. So what kind of fabric are your stuffed animals made from overall?
The majority of my stuffed animals are made with Shannon Fabrics, Minky, and their Luxe Cuddle. I love it. It's amazing quality. I do make it in other things, like my sample is made in cotton, so that one, you can see how it looks in cotton, and two, it's easier to photograph the tutorial in cotton.
Mhm.
Excuse me.
Right, because the way I also love Shannon Cuddle, but it's got a pile to it. So if you're photographing for a step-by-step tutorial, it can be difficult to see like the detail of the seam. Like if you're sewing a dart or something like that, it can be hard to see it. So I can understand sewing it in cotton, maybe a thread that's a little bit more contrasting, so you can see where it is if you're trying to learn how to make it yourself.
Exactly, yes, and that's why I love doing that. And then a lot of people will ask how it looks in cotton, and it's a good way to show that. And also, when I did try once filming in the Lux Cuddle, it gets a lot of fuzz on the film on the lens.
Yes, it is. It
But
really, I don't know if you have to vacuum your sewing room often, but it does kind of become an explosion of little bits of fur everywhere.
it does, but it is so worth it. It is just,
Yeah,
it's awesome fabric. It makes beautiful stuffed animals.
totally. And it's not stretchy either. So I like to sew from fleece, but fleece has stretch, whereas Shannon Cuddle doesn't have the backing of it. It's like a woven, so it's not stretchy.
Yeah, it stretches just a little, but not really stretchy at all.
Yeah, which is awesome. Okay, so tell us about your best-selling pattern. Is there a specific pattern that like you're most known for that people seem to love in an enduring way over time?
There's ones that, as they pop up, they're real popular, whatever. But I would say for the test of time, um, my nutty knack
He's
is what is deep and kind of sit it back here.
I can see
That's
why.
this is the probably I'd say the most over time popular pattern. It's a go-to. A lot of people make it, love it. In my Facebook group, they share what they make with them, and they're adorable. There's people that make them out of, they do memory horses with them, so they make them out of the clothing or blankets and stuff, or they even make it out of a live horse's blanket that's passed on as a memory for that live horse
Wow, that's
in the horse.
super cool.
Yeah.
So do you love horses? Or like were horses where you started?
Yeah. Yes, horses are my personal favorite. I grew up with horses. They've always been like my animal. And so when I started with making a stick horse. That's the very first pattern I made. And if you look at my pattern collection between retired and current, I have several horse patterns of different ones, um, more realistic.
So
And
cute. Oh my,
thank you. And so horses are definitely my favorite, and that's the name Rustic
right.
Horseshoe. And so it's like my signature animal for my
Yeah.
business as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's so many people who love horses, and horses are such a popular animal for kids to love. So
Mhm.
it really makes sense. I mean, there's the stick horse, but just I'm thinking like My Little Pony, unicorns. There's just horses are just something that's like beloved for kids. So it's a kind of a perfect animal to make.
I agree. And it just works out. I love making them too.
Yeah, exactly. So how did you get into doing this? Because, as a person who also sews stuffed animals and dolls, like it's kind of a niche thing in the sewing world. Like most people who sew either sew clothing, they make quilts. That's definitely super popular. They maybe make home decor, pillows and things like that, or curtains, but it's not that many people who like the main thing that they do is sew stuffed animals. So it's kind of like
True.
off to the side a little bit. So I'm wondering how you got into doing this.
Well, honestly, I never thought I would be much of a person who sews. And here I am doing this. I've always been artistic in drawing, and it was my way to bring it to 3D. I was driven by finding something I could do from home so that I could leave my career and work from home and be with my kids. And so I just kind of dove in and I picked stuffed animals because I love the creative aspect of it. For me, sewing clothes is boring. I mean, I do sew them once in a while. It's not my favorite thing, and my
Yeah,
brain works in a different way. Like even now, if I have something I need to sew that's more than just like a basic shirt or something, I have a friend who comes and helps me get it all laid
yeah,
out because it's not how my brain thinks.
totally.
But I think it's the whole creative aspect. You get more creativity and for me, more reward out of making stuffed animals. As you watch it come to life, it takes on a little personality
Yeah.
and it's fun.
It is fun. And I agree with you that it is a different way of thinking, like the way that your brain works, like being able to envision a flat piece of paper, how you could cut a shape that when you cut different parts of it in different ways and bring it together, it's now going to be this other shape that's three-dimensional. And there's just something so like interesting about that puzzle. And I think it is definitely like you're sort of wired to think that way or you're not.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah,
true.
and I love hearing people who they normally sew clothes or quilts and
Mhm.
they've made their first plushie with one of my patterns
Yeah,
and they were successful and they loved it and I like welcome to the world of stuffed animals. It's a whole
right.
other fun
And
aspect. Yeah.
even if you don't, go on to make 100 stuffed animals, but you buy a stuffed animal sewing pattern and that becomes your go-to thing to make for a new baby, for example,
Mhm.
and once everybody at the shower sees it, they're gonna want one for their, new baby as well. So it's like people who sew all sorts of other things can kind of have this other experience when they make a stuffed animal. I feel like it's a little bit scary. It's a lot of smaller pieces,
Mm-hmm.
fiddly bits,
Yeah.
and maybe a fabric substrate you're not super familiar with, like
Mm-hmm.
working with the cuddle. But once you kind of get over the hump, it is, as you said. And the other nice thing, I don't know if you find this to be true, if it's slightly off or slightly different or slightly weird looking, it adds to its character and it's okay.
It is. Absolutely. And that's the fun part of it. And I love it when people share what they make in my Facebook group. I love seeing the different ways that it
Yeah.
looks from the same patterns and the creativity that they took with it. And that is so rewarding for me.
Yeah, absolutely. So you have a lot of patterns out now. Do you know how many overall?
Um, Currently I think I'm at 33 or
Yeah,
34.
that's a
And
lot.
then it's been a long time, slow building and
Yeah,
slowly getting them up. But there's patterns I've retired So I have more than that I've had out,
Hmm.
but they're in my older format. They need to be updated, and they may not do that, and so they're not up to par. So they're kind of tucked away. And so I've made more patterns than that, but currently I'm at, yeah, 33 or
And
34.
do you work in collaboration with Shannon Fabrics at all, or have you like have they reached out, or have you contacted them at all as far as like making samples that they can show in their fabric?
Yeah, actually, I have a great working relationship with Shannon Fabrics. They're a wonderful company and wonderful people. And I will either share my patterns so that one of their people can make it as a sample. And also, every time I make my samples for my next pattern, I send them at least one. And so then it's in their fabric anyway. And then they sometimes pop up at their trade shows, or you see them in the videos. And so, yeah, definitely. I love the relationship I have with Shannon Fabrics. It's
Yeah, I
excellent.
love that. And I think it makes so much sense for you as a designer to work in collaboration and for them as a fabric. I think they're a fabric producer, importer to work in collaboration with you and with other
Yeah.
designers who are using their fabrics all the time. And what you're creating is so original and adorable that it seems like a
Thank you.
natural fit for them. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Have you written a book? Do you have any intention to write a book? Have you decided not to write a book? Any thoughts on publishing?
Well, it's, years ago I reached out to you for some advice, and I was thinking about it more and more. And I don't know. I really,
Yeah.
it's like this. I wanted to put a collection of like stick animals, and then those have they're still popular, but the plushies have definitely taken over. And I'm not sure, I don't know. It's something that's still there in my mind,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure we'll tackle that.
Right,
Yeah.
right, totally. It's a lot of work to write a book. I mean, if you think about a book, a lot of craft books are 15, 20 patterns. So,
Yeah.
you're saying it's taken many years and you've gotten to this like 32, 33 number. Think about that as far as how long it would take to put together 20 more,
I know
in a book that then can only be in the book. It's a lot to consider. And
it
it's
is.
like, so I can understand sort of the mixed feelings about it.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. It's like I can put out about 4 to 5 patterns a year. So the amount of time and effort for,
It's a
yeah,
lot.
exactly. It's
It's
a
a lot.
lot. Huge. But I
And
so
often the
appreciate people
deadline
who
is
do.
short. What'd you
What's
say?
that?
I was going to say
I
the deadline can often be pretty short too. So it's
Yeah,
like rush. Yeah.
right. And with everything I have going on right now as a mom and everything, it's just not something I can
Yeah.
put that kind of timeline on. But I said I appreciate people who do put the books together, like yourself, that help guide people and give them a
Yeah.
boost.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
Yeah.
great. So, okay. So if people want to get started and they're thinking, I'd love to try this and maybe try one of the patterns, should they start with the horse? Is there another one they should start with that's more beginner friendly, or where should they begin?
There's definitely ones that are not super beginner friendly. And then there's ones like the Nutty Nag that you look at it and people might think, well, that doesn't look super easy. But I have had so many people that have never made a stuffed animal start with this one, have success, tell me how easy it was to do. And a lot of it is